Deadman is coming back. PvP is everywhere, busted sigils completely change everything from skilling to raids, boosted XP rates for training and quests keeps the dopamine flowing, and breaches return from the last season to spawn bosses all over the map. Cash is king in a brand new economy like this, and whether you're here to swap gold to the main game or just get off to a good start with food and gear, you need some coin. So whether you're a returning veteran or taking your first Deadman steps, here's a first quick hour walkthrough to get an account set up with around 150k cash while completely immune without relying on any sigils, other players, or RNG. The method we'll be sticking to today is to get to the agility pyramid as fast as possible. In Deadman mode, it gives 30,000 GP per lap and only takes 35 agility to get started. We'd like a little higher so we don't fail as much, and we can get there by doing only the tourist trap. So let's get started. First thing we want to do is talk to Skippy over here. He built a skip tutorial island. We're going to go right to Lumbridge. This will take us closest to the desert and let us do tourist trap right away. In the live server, there is no starter pack, so I traded over some fire strikes and 5k to mimic what we'd have. I'd recommend switching to defensive casting and hitting some NPCs on the way there. It's just going to give you a couple HP and magic levels, should make it a little bit easier to tank some of the NPCs that we have to fight during the quest. This is the only part dependent on other players. You want to buy bronze bars here. They should restock super fast. If they're not here, you can go to the Tempo Ross area and do it. If all else fails, we'll just bring a bronze pickaxe to Remington and mine copper and tin. So we want 12 bronze bars and 200 feathers. That's going to get us the fletching and smithing levels we need. We're going to go back to Lumbridge, start X marks the spot, buy a spade, and just continue on with this quest. Head up to the bank upstairs, grab an axe. We want to get a knife from downstairs in a second as well. You can pick up these logs up here if they're available. We're just going to fletch these into headless arrows. There's a knife in the Lumbridge kitchen here. There's also one we can buy from the traders, the charter ships down in Port Sarim, so we have a backup there as well. Just fletch them on the way, make headless arrows. While we're in Draenor, I'd also pick up some wines. We can get kebabs later, but wines are more consistent. Keep going with X marks the spot. Finish the quest, get the lamp from Veos, use that on smithing. If you don't have a knife, go south to the charter ships, and if you don't have the bronze bars, you can go west and go mine the copper and the tin from the Remington mine, then home teleport. Buy a hammer from the general store, then let's go over here, smelt the bars if you need to, and then smith them into bronze items. I think the best thing to smith them to is probably arrow tips for additional fletching XP, that way you waste less feathers and less logs, but it really doesn't matter, 10 fletching is so fast. Just grabbing another quick few levels, the max hit of the boss is a 5 in this quest, so we don't need too much HP, but every little bit helps. If you didn't get wines, you can buy kebabs from this guy for 1 coin each. Now let's head to the Shanty Pass, buy a Shanty Pass, go through, talk to Irina and start the tourist trap quest, follow the quest guide and head south. The only difficult part of this quest is going to be here. So while we're fighting the boss, what you want to do is try and trap him around one of the other guards. This shouldn't be tremendously difficult, getting pretty unlucky here, but if you talk to the other mercenaries, they'll stand still. You can then corner save spot him if he does it correctly, or you can just trap him behind a guard like this. As long as you are on the west side or east side and head to the tile north or south of the mercenary, you should be able to save spot them easily. Finish this guy off to get a key. That's going to let us into the compound. Take off your weapons before you enter so you don't get thrown out. Follow the quest guide and swap your robes with this guy. It does say on the wiki that you get spotted based on the distance of the guard. I feel like they're pretty far here. I think it's just RNG. If you get caught and thrown out, it's going to slow you down a little bit, but no big deal. We will have to save spot the mercenary again, but I guess that makes for a more consistent guide here. So round 2, I just talked to the mercenary, hit the guard from far away, and you can see this is an easy safe spot. Talking to the mercenary is going to lock him in place. Even easier safe spot than last time. Same deal, swap your robes, try again with this. And this time we got it. Down into the mines, talk to the pineapple guy. Make sure you take your slave robes off before you try and exit so you don't get thrown in jail. Head west to the Deadman guy, try to get this pineapple. Back into the camp, and we get the plans for the darts. I wish I listened to my own advice. Take the slave robes off so you don't get thrown in jail. Otherwise, you have to climb out of the bars again, which just slows you down. Head back with the plans of this guy. Then we're going to go make darts. Make the dart, get the pineapple, give the pineapple back to the guard, and we're halfway through our time. Grab a barrel, get Anna in a barrel, throw her up the winch, pull her up the top. Finally throw her onto the cart, talk to this guy, get out of here. And quest is going to be completed. Once you go back to Irina, you can get your XP. If you put them both into agility, you should get about 49. Because I'm on this server, you get a little bonus XP in the beginning. I should have taken one to be a little bit more accurate. But now we can head south to the pyramid. I take the carpet here to Palvanich so we can buy some wines. There's going to be pretty good, cheap food that we can use at the pyramid. Now with plenty of mistakes, we're still at the pyramid with 18 minutes left, a good amount of food, water, skins, and all that. We're just going to continue to do some laps. That's our first top, second top, fell a couple times, you get the idea. So we finished our 5 laps, turned in our pyramid tops. We only get 50k on this server, but remember on the seasonal servers it is 3 times as much, so this should be 150k. We run our way up to the GE with plenty of time to spare. We're in Varrock with protection still left. Quick reminder, if you're going to keep playing, that you can get a lamp from this guy. We can't in this server, but you will have Shield of Arabdon, which is a nice little 10k XP lamp in this mode. Now run over to the GE, join your swapping CC, and swap over your 150k, or you have a great start to your accounts. So that pretty much covers it, but here's some final notes. So who is this actually for? It's mainly for people who want a fast in and out 1 hour swap, or if you're using an alt and you want to just get some money. If you're leveling your primary account, I'd suggest doing some other more meaningful quests that can push you through the bracket sooner. This is mostly because now that we're done with the Hour of Immunity, we're now able to be killed and really don't have much to defend ourselves in terms of levels and are far from the next bracket. I'm going to do some additional ones on sigils, other account builds, and maybe some overall tips and tricks you should know. Since there's a lot changed in Deadman, it's hard to find it in one place. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.